Hey all. I'm kind of sick, so my voice is a little off, but today I'm going to show you guys how I make Thouxanbanfauni type melodies, drums, and just the whole sauce for those kind of ambient vibey things. I'm just going to record my process, and then I'm going to edit it down a little bit, and hopefully you guys can enjoy and learn something. So the first thing I usually do is I'll go into some, like Analog Lab, Omnisphere, whatever you have, it doesn't really matter. Just look for a cool pad sound. That's pretty good, but I don't know if there's too much going on there. We'll use that. Let us start with that. Alright, so the first thing I'll do is I'll build out some kind of chords. So maybe like, oh, that's a sampler. So I'll go with a ninth of probably. I usually like to start with a ninth chord when I build these kind of melodies and like just these beats in general. And too much going on there. I like that. So then what I'll do is I'll put it on this chain here. I don't like that it has so much reverb, so we're gonna pick it something else. Okay, that's hard. I think I'll probably use that. Copy this over, and then I'm gonna just suspend this second, which is suspending a second is basically when you take your notes, your chord, and take the second, and you put it down a half step, which is, you can see on the grid. I'm in A minor for this, solely just because I can't really play keys very well, but I do have a MIDI keyboard and I like to play along, and if you just are in A minor, C major, you can play the white notes and it'll be in scale, so it's just a good way to riff melodies, melodic ideas on top of your chords. So then what I'll do is I'll try to move these up a little bit, make them a little wider. I think this is a good bass start. Something that I like to do, just to get kind of that dreamy, ethereal feel, is I'll usually put like a gross beat on the pad. I'll put an EQ to cut that low end out again. And then just to give it like a little bit more rhythm, I'll probably put something from Effectrix. I like this Finexi basic reverse preset a lot. Use it on a lot of beats. And then also I'll probably go into Looperator, and I'll go into Emar's kit, shout out Emar, and I'll go into one of these stops because they're just really good for just adding rhythm to your to really simple pads. A good start. It's just like a good base for this. So then the next thing I usually do is try to add some kind of like little lead to sine lead from, where is it? Where's my favorite lead? You can get it. It's in Analog Lab. It's more like a theremin sound, so it has like a different sort of attack. So you could go like this, and I'll just kind of like to paint in almost randomly. I know it sounds kind of dumb, but I feel like it works a lot for this just because the attack is kind of weird. You know, I just kind of experiment, and I'll do like this, and I'll press Control or Command B just to have it copy over, because you want to just have a lot of repetition in most any beat you make. And then I'll just put like a couple other additional notes for the second half, and I'll probably take like this C and put it back on this A. And that's gonna sound super weird right now. And that's if I would keep it there, but I don't really want to keep it on that mixer chain, so I'll put it on a new mixer chain. I'd add this half speed, just because I feel like a lot of the time you want to have that half speed sort of effect going. And because with this I kind of want it to be a texture, I'll put something like Infiltrator on, or Portal, just anything to kind of give me more filtering options. And adds more depth to the sound. So now we have a lot more depth with this. Okay, so the next thing I probably would do is then try to get like a more defined melody down, just like kind of your earworm. Just something simple. Like, I'll click through this usually. I mean, one I like to use a lot is the Kalimbox preset. It goes in Pigments too, if you have Pigments. Pigments is goated, but anyway. And I would put this on its own chain here. And just off rip with it, I kind of like to add a portal just to give it that extra little bit of spice, or just something to kind of make it fit into the background a little more, if that makes sense. A lot of the time with portal, you have to kind of lower your mixing knob just so it doesn't get so atrocious, because it's like granular synthesis is usually really extreme, and like a lot of the time you'll put like sounds in there that aren't really in key, especially with like crystal features, which is like a mistake a lot of people get into it, or probably why people get frustrated with it. You just have to know that kind of from the start. But anyway, so I'm gonna just kind of play a little melody, try to see what I can come up with. I like that. That's kind of good. I mean, it's not sauced up yet, or add a little more flavor to it. So what I would usually do to it is I would go to a looperator, and I would just kind of, I mean, I like these banks a lot, obviously, which I use a bunch, but you can just like put them in yourself. I'll try this one. It's a cool sound, but it's definitely just too kind of in your face. So what I'll do is I'll put a filter freak over it, just so you can kind of not hear it as intently. I'll just experiment with different sounds. Okay, I like that actually. Alright, and another thing I like to do is go with the grow speed on it. I like this Jade Serum, or grow speed bank a lot, and I'll go like this Grunge 2 preset. Nick Mirror, thank you for making this. Really just creates that kind of just trippy, ethereal feel to it. And just for like extra sake, I like to add usually one more melody. Something I've been doing a lot recently is just sticking to, I don't know, just like 4 melodies. If you go over it, you're just kind of adding too much, I feel. And I don't know, you just end up frustrating yourself a lot of the time. Just because once you add too much, you're kind of messing with the rhythm of everything. And I'm guilty of that all the time. I mean, it's producing, it's fun, so, you know, it's no fault. If you want to, just go crazy. Don't let anyone really tell you how you can do it. But anyway, soft riff, I'm just going to add these 2 grow speeds, this ginseng melody, which is this kind of it's like a gate effect basically, it fades in and out, and then this preset I like a lot, it's a good repeater, has that repetition. With pianos and stuff, I mean, people randomize notes, I'm sure you've heard that before, but with most of the time I just like to lower the velocity really soft. And another note thing with like melodies in general, just to note, is every like note wants to resolve to something else. Like the 5 usually can go down to the 1 pretty well. The 6 kind of wants to go down to the 5. 4 to the 5. 3 to the 2. I mean, I'm not a music theorist by any means, but it's just something to keep in mind, that like that's how you create tension and release, is just knowing when to resolve notes and when not to. And then I'm gonna add just one more thing, because this is a video and it would be fun to show some cool other stuff you can do. I like this one preset in FM8 a lot. It was using that song Poppin' by Yeet allegedly, but who knows if that's actually true or not. Then I'll put a reverb on this kind of preset, and I'll just like look for something. My favorite one, I use crystalline a lot for reverb. Valhalla is good too, just because everyone uses it, but I feel like I like crystalline more just because it cuts itself. Like sometimes your reverbs can just get muddy, which I'm sure you've noticed sometimes, like if you're using stock, but crystalline just does a good job of not doing that, for lack of a better word. I mean, you have a lot of customization with it too, but anyway. So I'm just going to put this preset onto it. I'm just going to create a little ARP sound. Oh man, my computer's glitching the fuck out. Please survive today. And just that to tie it all together. Okay, and then so my computer doesn't like explode, I'm just gonna render these because they would be really bad if my computer like